So to do the download, we actually need to go to the GitHub page for JMC. I've now got that on screen here. It's github.com/JDK mission control/JMC. And if you scroll down on the GitHub page, the README file here actually does give you the instructions for how to install it. I'm just scrolling down here. It's this section here, building mission control from source. Now, these instructions are reasonably clear. You can just read through them and have a go at it yourself if you like. I am going to do it on the video, but there's a couple of really important things you need to do before you start. The first thing is you need to have a Git client installed so you can clone the project, and you'll also need to have Maven installed because you'll use Maven to do the build. Now, if you're using Windows like me and you've got the Cygwin client installed to give you a terminal window, then Cygwin's Maven and Git plugins will be just fine. The other thing, though, that's really important is that in order to build JMC, at least right now, you must have configured Java 8 to be your default JDK, and that includes setting the Java home environment variable correctly. JMC will not currently compile under Java 11. So I'm going to have a go at doing this. If you're following along with me, let's open up a terminal window. And then the first thing I'm going to do here is check my versions of the Java JDK. So I'm going to do here, I think, Java C-version. Good, I'm using Java 8, and I'll also just check the value of Java Home. And that's pointing to Java 8 as well, so that looks good. So we need to go to somewhere on our hard drives where we're going to be cloning this project. I think I'm just going to do that in the root of my E drive. And then we want to issue the clone command. So we're cloning the full project. So I'm just going to go back here to the root of the JMC GitHub page. We'll click on the clone or download and copy the URL. And then in our command window, we can do git clone and paste in the URL. That's going to take a moment or two, so I think I'll just pause the camera while that runs. Okay, so that's finished now, and that means there should be a folder here called JMC. Let's just go into it. And there is, that's good. I think I'll just do an ls to check. Great, so we're looking here to be in the folder which has a subfolder called RELENG, and then what we'll do is navigate into that folder. And then there should be a subfolder under here called third party. There is, let's navigate into that. And then we're ready to start running the build process. So I'm getting this information, just to be absolutely clear, from the GitHub page. So if you find that it's not working for you, you might want to check here in case by the time you come to do this course, they've changed some of these instructions. Hopefully that won't be the case, but we'll carry on here and hope this is going to work. So the first thing we'll need to do is run the Maven command, which is p2:site. Now this is going to take quite a while to run. So again, I'm going to pause the camera while this runs. It is an awful lot for it to download. I will warn you that. So I'll pause the camera now and press resume when this is finished. Okay, well that's now finished, and as you can see, in fact, that took just over 3 minutes on my machine to run, so it certainly wasn't a quick process. But we're now ready to run the second command, which is mvn jetty:/run. And that's going to start up actually the Jetty web server when it's ready. So when that's finished, what we want to do is leave this window open and running, and then we're going to open a second terminal window and run the next part of the commands in a second terminal window. So I'm just going to, hopefully this is about to finish. I think that was a good sign. Yep, that's now finished. Let's move this so that it's in one part of the screen, and we'll open up a second Cygwin window. And we need to again navigate to wherever we cloned the JMC project, which on my machine was in the E drive. And then we want to navigate into a folder called core. So I'm just going to check, there's the core folder, good. And then here we can do mvn clean install. And once again, I think this one's going to take a while, so I'll pause the camera while this runs. Okay, so that one's finished, and that one took, as you can see, 1.5 minutes on my machine. Now let's go back up one level, and then it's the final command, which is mvn package. And again, I'll pause the camera while this runs. And that has finally finished. That really did take a long time, just under 10 minutes in fact, but hopefully all of that has worked. And what that means is it will have created the runnable files for us, and it creates both the Linux, the Mac and the Windows versions of the runnable files whenever you do this build, so it doesn't matter what operating system you are using.